December 30th, my life changed. My dad was taken away by immigration. My dad was a good dad. He worked every day to take care of us. He goes to church with us, he helps people, and when he comes home, he always makes time to play with us. From work, he always makes time to play with us. My siblings and me. Soccer is my favorite game to play with him and my dad. My dad and my siblings. That day my dad went to his construction job like he always did. But my dad never came home. I was waiting for him and the other workers in the parking lot. Like they were taken because they speak Spanish and because they were immigrants. Since my dad was taken, our home felt very empty. My mom cried a lot. My older brother can't focus on school. My baby brother still cries for our dad. He is just a baby. He doesn't understand why his dad is gone.
Shame!
Shame! This is what my family and me are going through. I don't want this to happen to any other kid or family. I need Congress to take action. No more helping ICE tear families apart. No more making kids like me lose their parents. No money for ICE. Thank you to all our leaders who are helping to make a difference. I don't want our community to be locked up when they didn't do anything. I don't want our families to be scared every day. I'm only 10 years old, but I recently learned something important. When we speak up, things can change. Thank you.
apoyándote y asegurándonos que tú y tu familia estén con toda la paz que necesiten y el respaldo. Gracias por levantar tu voz. Thank you so much, Liliana. This is inspiring and also heartbreaking that we're hearing this type of stories right now. No 10-year-old, no son, no brother, no mother, no father should have to see their loved ones being taken away like it's happening. Here, now, never this should happen. But that's why we're here, because we're lifting our voice to make sure that ICE, this agency that is terrorizing our communities, does not continue with this type of terror. That's right. So now we have another ally in this struggle and an amazing organization that is fighting in so many fronts, especially to close detention centers. I'm gonna invite our sister Zetaregan Dehari, the Advocacy Director at Detention Watch Network, to join us and to also give us a little bit of the context of why this is happening and how we can also stop it. So give it up for Zetaregan Dehari.
Immigrants are welcome here! No hate, no fear! Immigrants Thank you, and Liliana, thank you so much. You're an inspiration, and sorry. I know all of us here are doing everything we can to make your generation proud and create a better future for you, and I hope our elected officials can do the same. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. My name is Setara Gandahari, and I'm the Advocacy Director at Detention Watch Network, a national coalition building power through collective advocacy, grassroots organizing, and strategic communications to end immigration detention in the United States. For nearly 30 years, we have been dedicated to exposing the depravity of the immigration detention system in the U.S., a system that is fundamentally inhumane, unnecessary, and deadly. In immigration detention, people are deprived of freedom, caged in isolation, and made to suffer abysmal conditions, including medical neglect, physical and verbal abuse, overcrowding, insufficient access to necessities like food and water, and rampant transfers that disappear people into the detention system, sowing confusion and cutting people off from their loved ones and support networks. People in immigration detention have described it as hell on earth because it is. And all of this has been true for decades, as ICE has evaded attempts at reform, oversight, and accountability at every turn, under multiple administrations in its short 23-year existence. Last month's events in Minneapolis shocked the American conscience as federal agents gunned down Americans in broad daylight. Let me be clear, ICE is operating with total impunity, emboldened by outrageous and ever-growing funding that has been greenlit by Congress year after year. The heightened cruelty under this administration has exacerbated the existing violent culture of ICE and CBP and the inhumane conditions inherent to ICE's detention system. The system has expanded exponentially in the last year, with a shocking 70,000 people in ICE detention today. Last year was the deadliest year on record for deaths in ICE custody, and in just the first 2 months of this year, 8 people have already died in ICE detention, setting us on course to reach another deadly milestone. In addition to being responsible for the deaths of people behind the walls of ICE detention, ICE agents have been responsible for multiple killings as they have rampaged communities across the country, snatching people from their homes, cars, schools, and workplaces, tearing families apart, chasing people into traffic, and shooting people on the streets of American cities. The evidence against ICE is indisputable. ICE kills and threatens community safety, and no one is safe when ICE is present, whether on the streets or in one of the agency's more than 200 abuse-ridden detention facilities. ICE is the largest enforcement agency in the country, operating with never-before-seen funding to maintain and expand the world's largest immigration detention system. For the last year, we have seen this current administration carry out a multi-layered expansion plan that has included bringing back family detention, proliferating ICE operations into other government agencies, using military bases as deportation hubs, and deepening ties with private prisons and local jails. And most recently, reports have revealed that ICE intends to spend nearly $40 billion on expanding the detention system into industrial warehouses across the country. As some of you may know, last summer, Congress handed the administration a blank check worth more than $170 billion to carry out its mass detention and deportation agenda, including $45 billion specifically for immigration detention. And ICE is using that money to build out a horrific warehouse detention system to cage people like commodities.
That's not right.
This mind-blowing investment into the immigration detention system, driven by Trump's mass deportation campaign, comes at the expense of all Americans as people lose health care, children go hungry, and families struggle to pay rent and worry over emergency preparedness. I'll say that again. Trump is executing his cruel mass deportation agenda at the expense of life-saving health care, food assistance, and other programs that exist to support all Americans. Make no mistake, as a nation, we are at a critical inflection point, and the violence of ICE and Border Patrol agents is decades in the making. But the American public is clear-eyed and won't be duped by staffing shakeups and misleading announcements. ICE continues to violently target communities in Minnesota and beyond today. Now is not the time to be complicit in business as usual. No more endless funding for ICE, no more abuse and death at the hands of ICE, no more cruel detention, and no more chaos. People are struggling, and the American people deserve investments in healthcare, housing, and programs that support all of us, instead of the detention and deportation of immigrants by an agency that is rotten to its core. And people across the country are doing what's right. They're coming together to push back against immigration detention centers, to defend their neighbors in the face of state violence, to protest and make their demands heard, and to take care of each other when systems have failed them. Now it's time for Congress to do the right thing. The only path forward in the ongoing DHS funding negotiations is to zero out ICE and Border Patrol funding and to claw back the billions of dollars given to them in last year's reconciliation package to effectively stop these agencies from inflicting more violence on our communities. Congress must act now to cut ICE and Border Patrol off. Cut their flow of money to get ICE out of our communities and shut down detention once and for all. Thank you.
That's great. So no, not $1 for ICE. Not $1. Not $1. Not $1. Not $1. That's right, all of us. Así como dije, shut it down.
We don't get it.
Shut it down.
We don't get it.
Shut it down. Epa, así es, porque si siguen dándole más dinero, nosotros vamos a seguir organizando y asegurándonos que los políticos nos escuchen, porque ni un peso más puede ir a inmigración. Gracias, Zetaré, por esas palabras poderosas. Y ahora quiero darle el micrófono a una compañera en la lucha que admiro mucho, que es una madre inmigrante, luchadora, una mariposa migrante, que se llama Carolina y está aquí con la organización Espacios en Acción y nos va a comentar desde su perspectiva cómo podemos seguir organizándonos y qué mensaje le vamos a dar hoy a los políticos para que no le den ni un peso más. Give it up for Carolina from Spaces in Action, who's about to share as a mother, as a powerful worker, and just as an organizer, how ICE is stirring up our communities and what we should do to continue organizing. Un aplauso para Carolina.
¿Qué queremos? ¡Justicia! ¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want it?
Now.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Carolina, una mujer inmigrante y madre de 2 niños nacidos aquí, además de líder comunitaria y miembro de la organización Espacios en Acción y muchas más. En el último año, esta administración ha priorizado la violencia, la persecución y la privación de derechos. El miedo y la inseguridad desgarran nuestras comunidades, traumatizan a nuestros niños y nos perturban ante el terror presenciado globalmente.
My name is Carolina and I'm an immigrant woman and mother of 2 children born here, as well as a community leader and member of the organization Spaces in Action. And last year, this administration has prioritized violence, persecution, and disenfranchisement. Fear and insecurity are tearing apart our communities, traumatizing our children, and disturbing us in the face of terror witnessed globally.
Hoy estamos aquí reunidos como comunidad con dolor, pero llenos de resistencia, amor y poder colectivo. Representamos aquellas voces intentado silenciar las 32 personas que el año pasado perdieron la vida en custodia de ICE, las 9 personas asesinadas por ICE a sangre fría en lo que va de este año y los más de 3.800 niños detenidos y arrancados de sus hogares y escuelas.
Today, we're gathered here as a community in pain, but filled with resilience, love, and collective power. We represent those voices they have tried to silence. The 32 people who lost their lives in ICE custody last year, the 9 people murdered in cold blood by ICE so far this year, and the more than 3,800 children detained and torn from their homes and schools.
Hoy nuestra exigencia colectiva y directa para el Congreso es clara. No más dinero para ICE. No más dólares para la máquina deportadora y asesina de este presidente. No más dinero para ICE. 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 Que solo ha dejado en este país desolación y desconfianza y ríos de sangre en nuestros vecindarios a manos de sus agentes sin entrenamiento ni respeto por la humanidad.
Today, our collective and direct demands to Congress is clear. No more money for ICE. No more dollars ICE. No more money for ICE. No more money for ICE. We also don't want any more dollars for this president's deportation and death machine, which has only left desolation, distrust, and rivers of blood in our neighborhoods at the hands of untrained agents with no respect for humanity.
No podemos permitir que se siga usando nuestros niños como carnadas para capturar a sus padres, como ocurrió con Liam, de tan solo 5 años, ni que sean maltratados por ICE. Muchos de nuestros niños son ciudadanos estadounidenses y debemos seguir amplificando la importancia de la pilar de la democracia y la pertenencia a este país. La enmienda 14.
We cannot allow our children to continue being used as bait to capture their parents, as happened with 5-year-old Liam, nor can we allow them to be mistreated by ICE. Many of our children are American citizens, and we must continue to amplify the importance of birthright citizenship and defend the 14th Amendment as a pillar of democracy and belonging to this country.
No olvidemos que la violencia de ICE se financia con los impuestos de todos nosotros. Las comunidades inmigrantes e indocumentadas también pagamos impuestos sin recibir beneficios. Ese dinero debe invertirse en la vida, no en la muerte. Exigimos que ese dinero sea asignado a la salud, a vivienda asequible y educación gratuita de calidad. Invierta en el pueblo trabajador, no en el odio y la discriminación.
Let's not forget that ICE violence is funded by all of our taxes. Immigrant and undocumented communities have been paying, as well as the general community, without receiving any benefits. That money should be invested in life, not death. We demand this money be allocated to healthcare for all, affordable housing, free and quality education, not in hate and misinformation.
Ahora más que nunca, la urgencia es de mantenernos unidos en una sola voz que pueda arroparnos a todos sin importar dónde haya nacido o cómo nos veamos.
Now more than ever, it is urgent that we remain united in a single voice that can encompass us all, regardless of where we were born or what we look like.
Los invito a que sigamos siendo activos y alzando nuestra voz en esta lucha. Nadie debería de temer perder la vida por expresarse pacíficamente, por migrar y buscar un mejor futuro para su familia, por ejercer el derecho a la protesta, no violencia. Nada de esto es una amenaza para la sociedad. Por el contrario, todas estas actividades son el fundamento de una sociedad democrática y esa es la sociedad que queremos y que tendremos. No más dinero para ICE. ICE, fuera de nuestras comunidades. DC, santuario.
Yeah! I invite you to continue being active and raising our voices in this fight. No one should fear losing their life for expressing themselves peacefully, for migrating and seeking a better future for their family, or for exercising the right to nonviolent protest. None of this is a threat to society. On the contrary, all these activities are a foundation of a democratic society, and that is the society we want and will have. No more money for ICE, ICE out of our communities, DC sanctuary.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Sí se puede, sigamos adelante. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
Así es, compañeros. Bueno, y tenemos no solamente gente del DMV, pero también que vino desde Pensilvania, compañeros. Así que démosle un aplauso a Care in Action, que trajeron a su delegación, y despuesito de que hablen van a irse a reunir con esos políticos de Pensilvania que no nos han hecho caso. Así que denle un aplauso a Carmen María, quien es una trabajadora del hogar de Pensilvania.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Mi nombre es Carmen María. Soy una orgullosa residente de Filadelfia y soy originalmente de Guatemala. Fui trabajadora del hogar interna por muchos años, viviendo en la casa de las familias para las que trabajaba. Hoy trabajo como limpiadora de casas en Pensilvania y soy líder de la Alianza Nacional de Trabajadoras del Hogar. Luchamos por los derechos de trabajadoras del hogar como limpiadoras, niñeras y cuidadoras, la gran mayoría mujeres inmigrantes como yo. Estoy aquí porque el aumento en la aplicación de leyes migratorias está sembrando miedo, y cuando hay miedo, las trabajadoras hablan menos, denuncian menos abusos, reclaman menos sus derechos. Eso nos hace retroceder.
Good morning. My name is Carmen Maria. I am a proud resident of Philadelphia, and I am originally from Guatemala. I was a live-in domestic worker for many years, living in the homes of the families I worked for. Today, I work as a house cleaner in Philadelphia, and I am a member leader with the National Domestic Workers Alliance. We fight for the rights of domestic workers, such as house cleaners, nannies, and home care workers, the vast majority immigrant women like me. I am here because the increase in immigration enforcement is spreading fear. And when there is fear, workers speak out less. They report fewer abuses, they demand their rights less. That pushes us backwards.
En Filadelfia hemos avanzado, pero tenemos que proteger lo que logramos. Ganamos la Carta de Derechos de las Trabajadoras del Hogar. Tenemos el Acto Poder, que protege contra represalias, incluyendo amenazas relacionadas con inmigración, y también estamos impulsando legislación para sacar a ICE de nuestra ciudad. Aún así, seguimos preocupadas cuando la aplicación de la ley migratoria se intensifica. El miedo se siente aquí, en lo cotidiano, en el supermercado, en el parque, en la iglesia, en la escuela de nuestros hijos. Y duele saber que esto se está pagando con nuestros impuestos. Yo pago impuestos, muchas de nosotros pagamos impuestos. Contribuimos a la economía todos los días. No es aceptable recordar casi $1 trillón de Medicaid, que sostiene a familias trabajadoras, a personas mayores y a personas con discapacidades, mientras se destina más dinero para vigilar y separar a nuestras comunidades.
In Philadelphia, we have made progress, but we have to protect what we've won. We passed the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights. We have the POWER Act, which protects against retaliation, including immigration-related threats. And now we are also pushing legislation to get ICE out of our city. Even so, we remain concerned. When immigration enforcement intensifies, the fear is felt in everyday life. At the grocery store, in the park,